What's up everybody, welcome to another video. Today I have this ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. I have been using this smartphone for more than a month now. Currently this one is my primary daily drive, so you can understand how much I like this device. Well, I believe in truth be told, and yeah, we are gonna reveal the truth. Anyway, I have recorded some part of this video after ZTE has pushed an update on 9th June 2022. So this video is much more updated than other review videos that was published ahead of this video. If you end up liking this video, if you find this updated review video a bit more helpful than others, then please click on the like button and please subscribe to this channel. I really like the box and design on the box of ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. I usually don't keep the box of a smartphone, but I'm gonna keep this one. After opening the top lid of the box, the first thing you will notice is this gorgeous ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. Let's put the phone aside and check what else we have got inside the box. Well, as usual, ZTE has provided a SIM ejector tool, warranty papers, and a TPU silicone protective case. This is a transparent case. This one offers good protection, but I am sure this will definitely ruin the outlook of the phone. Underneath the case, there are two other boxes. The top one contains a 65-watt charger. This is a premium quality charger. They have provided the same charger with Axon 30 Ultra, which I've been using almost for a year now, and I'm really happy with its performance. This charger supports PPS or programmable power supply and QC4+. There is a USB-C to 3.5mm dongle included inside the box. This means no 3.5mm port on the phone. ZTE has also provided a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, and this one is even better than the previous generation one. Well, it's time to unwrap the newest ZTE flagship Axon 40 Ultra. In hand, it provides a pleasant and comfortable feelings, cause this ZTE Axon 40 Ultra is built with premium materials and it weighs only 204 grams. This one is definitely lighter than many other flagships. ZTE has used a matte glass with super smooth finish, which feels more like a paper rather than a glass. In hand, it feels more premium than Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Side by side, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra definitely looks bigger, feels heavier, but in terms of outlook and appearance, both have their own unique design language. Both have that cheerful vibe. Both the Axon 40 Ultra and Galaxy S22 Ultra have flat top and bottom, so if you want them to vertically stand on a flat surface, both of them can stand without any issue. On top, ZTE comes with a dedicated speaker for stereo sound and an IR blaster, while S22 Ultra only got a noise cancellation microphone. At the bottom, speaker grill, USB-C port, primary microphone, antenna bands, everything is almost the same, but Galaxy S22 Ultra has a S Pen which is not available on ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. Volume rockers and power button all are located on the right side of the phone, and placement is also similar. If you put ZTE on top of Samsung, S22 Ultra is slightly bigger than Axon 40 Ultra. It's nothing huge, but the lightweight of Axon 40 Ultra offers more comfort, while S Pen of S22 Ultra offers more convenience. Okay, here comes the protective case. I don't like it, so I have bought an additional protective case. Before we go through the review process, let's check the specifications of ZTE Axon 40 Ultra. Briefly, ZTE Axon 40 Ultra is powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, LPDDR5 RAM, UFS 3.1 storage, 6.8-inch AMOLED display panel, 5000 mAh battery, and supports 65-watt fast charging. We will talk about camera specifications later in this video. We get more display real estate uninterrupted, amazing for media consumption and gaming. ZTE Axon 40 Ultra comes with a 6.8-inch FHD Plus AMOLED panel. This panel supports HDR10 Plus and can reproduce 1 billion colors. I have managed to get up to 1400 nits by manually adjusting brightness, which is similar to their claim of 1500 nits. This one also has 1440Hz PWM, pulse width modulation dimming, which really helps a lot. Side by side with Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and Vivo X80 Pro, I am amazed by Axon 40 Ultra's display performance. Truly, I didn't expect this type of performance from Axon 40 Ultra. It has performed beyond my expectation. As we can tweak color temperature and color mode, we can actually get the most natural or the most preferred output on this display panel. All the other standard features are also available. System-wide dark mode works very fine and it's pretty smooth. There is a reading mode alongside night light option, which is a big advantage. In terms of refresh rate, we can either select 120Hz or 60Hz. I'm a bit disappointed to see that there is no 90Hz option. 90Hz actually offers smoothness and helps to preserve battery. You can select how you want the top area of the display, which in my opinion is useless in 2022. In 120Hz refresh rate, you will get battery smooth scrolling and everything is seamless. ZTE has done well to get fantastic color rendition along with shiny, greasy smoothness. ZTE Axon 40 Ultra comes with dual speaker stereo setup. There is a dedicated speaker on top which provides better stereo performance. Side by side with Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, it has performed very well. Personally, I don't believe in AnTuTu scores. Those scores mean nothing to me cause there is a huge difference between real-life performance and AnTuTu scores. Anyway, I prefer 3DMark benchmark, especially Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, cause this one offers valid and dependable information. This test takes around 20 minutes. Actually, it runs the same extreme test in 20 loops and offers the most accurate data. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has managed to get a good peak score, but it has very heavy throttling, which leads to a poor stability of 59.8%. ZTE Axon 40 Ultra has got a better peak score of 2411 and it has managed to have a very steady performance due to its unique 9-layer cooling system. 75.8% stability is a very high number for any Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 based smartphones. Vivo X80 Pro has done better than ZTE Axon 40 Ultra, but considering the price and other features, I think the difference is acceptable. As Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has generated a lot of heat and throttled its performance, it didn't drain a lot of battery. It has mediocre 7 to 17 FPS. Both the ZTE Axon 40 Ultra and Vivo X80 Pro has drained 16% of battery, but if you check carefully, Vivo has actually allowed X80 Pro to run in a very high temperature, which may lead to a longevity issue. Axon 40 Ultra has generated less heat, but frame rate is very similar to Vivo X80 Pro. Yeah, benchmarks don't always depict real-life performance. I love gaming on this ZTE Axon 40 Ultra for 3 different reasons. Number 1, this display panel is so addictive. Uninterrupted edge-to-edge display gives me sparkling and static feeling. Number 2, ZTE Axon 40 Ultra has very good 9-layer cooling. It offers a very steady 38 frames per second even after playing Genshin Impact for hours. Number 3, Axon 40 Ultra offers smooth touch sampling, better mistouch protection, and offers one of the finest in-game experience among all the camera-centric flagships. Yeah, gaming performance of ZTE Axon 40 Ultra is even comparable to gaming smartphones. A lot of people have already talked about the selfie camera and the science behind it. I don't believe in dry words. I believe in real-life performance. I have asked my friend Kim to take some selfie photos with ZTE Axon 40 Ultra side by side with a few other smartphones. I'm neither super satisfied nor dissatisfied. You cannot expect under-display technology to perform like a usual selfie camera. Definitely there is a trade-off, but ZTE has actually done very good. It is way better than any other under-display selfie camera available in the market. Okay, time to check the rear camera setup. ZTE has decided to start a new era of 35mm lens. The main sensor is a Sony IMX787 64MP sensor. It has OIS and surprisingly, it has a very good aperture f1.6. ZTE has also another Sony IMX787 64MP sensor for ultra-wide lens. We should appreciate ZTE for doing this, because most of the other brands are choosing weaker ultra-wide sensor to cut some cost. Kudos to ZTE. The third sensor is also a 64MP sensor, but it's from OmniVision. This one is OV64B. This OmniVision sensor is a very good sensor and capable of delivering quality photo. This sensor is tagged to a 90mm periscope lens which offers 3.5 times optical zoom. I have taken some photos with this ZTE Axon 40 Ultra side by side with many other flagships, and yeah, I'm super impressed. ZTE has learned from their previous mistakes. ZTE Axon 40 Ultra camera performance is way better than its predecessors and belongs to the real flagship league. I will also do a camera comparison between ZTE Axon 40 Ultra and Vivo X80 Pro, so if you're interested in camera comparison videos, hang tight and stay tuned. I have to mention, there is a significant difference in charging speed and charging time while charging this ZTE Axon 40 Ultra in power on state and while charging in power off state. In power off state, it takes 42 minutes to get fully charged from 0 to 100, but while the phone is powered on, it takes 46 minutes to get charged from 2% to 100%. I have managed to squeeze more than 8 hours of screen on time. However, if you are a heavy gamer, it won't go beyond 7 hours and 30 minutes. I think 7 hours and 30 minutes is even good enough and better than many other super flagships, because screen on time of ZTE Axon 40 Ultra is a bit better than Vivo X80 Pro, Honor Magic 4 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. ZTE Axon 40 Ultra comes with myOS 12 on top of Android 12. I personally have no complaint about this OS, rather I think this is the cleanest Android skin developed by any Chinese companies. Face unlock option is also available and works fine. However, I'm slightly disappointed that ZTE did not go for ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. ZTE have used a generic sensor, but the sensor works fine. I think ZTE Axon 40 Ultra fingerprint sensor is the fastest to recognize fingerprint and to unlock the smartphone. Okay, after watching through this video, what do you think? Would you buy a ZTE Axon 40 Ultra? Is it because it has an under-display selfie camera, or because of its uninterrupted amazing display panel, or is it because of its camera performance? Please let me know in the comment section below. Actually, I would recommend ZTE Axon 40 Ultra if you are not a heavy selfie shooter. I mean, if you don't take selfie photos every day, then this is the best value for money flagship smartphone available in the market. Well, I have also done a separate camera comparison video between ZTE Axon 40 Ultra and two other flagships. I wish you will stay tuned and watch that camera comparison video. Well, if you have liked this video, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel.